coming to you with a how to thrift video. And the reason I decided to film this video is because one of my most viewed videos is my thrift haul. So I decided I would make a video for you guys to let you guys know how I find or how I shop at the thrift store and how I find all the cool vintage pieces that I do. So if I do look down, it's because obviously I'm reading my notes, because I did actually go to the thrift store and wrote down tips and all that jazz. So let's get right into it. Tip 1 is dedication and research. When I say dedication, I don't mean like you have to dedicate your life to thrifting, but you do have to set aside time to thrift. It can be a rush process. It's going to take a while. So usually I try and do it on the weekends where I know I have time and I don't have anything to do, and I can just really dedicate my day to thrifting, or a certain amount of hours to thrifting. Now, when I say research, as far as tip 1 is, let's say in Tallahassee, when I lived in Tallahassee at the Salvation Army, every Saturday they would have 50% off the entire store. So for this particular thrift store that you guys are going to see the footage that I have of when I went thrifting at this particular thrift store, they did 50% off. Like if you go there and shop one day, they give you a coupon for 50% off on Sundays. I know the Goodwill too, they have colors of the week. So all their blue tags may be 50% off, or one week all their green tags may be 50% off. So you want to do your research or get familiar with whatever thrift store you're going to, and find out when they have specials and sales. Even though the stuff is cheap, I guess it doesn't hurt to get it cheaper, right? So yeah, that was tip 1. So tip 2 is to dress comfortably. Like when I go to the thrift store, last time I went, I wore, not this last time, but the time before last, I wore a romper, which you would think that's very comfortable, you just throw it on. But when it's time to go in the fitting room and try on your items, it gets very complicated when you have a romper on. So you want to dress comfortable, especially shoes. You want to wear like, flats, something you can slip on and slip off. One, especially because the floors, like, unless you're going to a really nice thrift store or Goodwill or whatever, like the floors are disgusting. So I always wear like sandals, something I can slide on and slide off, like when I'm taking pants off and all that jazz. And you wanna dress comfortably. So if you're trying on a lot of pants, you don't want to have to take off a whole romper or something like that. You want to be able to take off your shorts and then unbutton your top, or take off your top. Like, I would prefer to dress in 2 pieces. Tip 2 is to dress comfortable, because you're gonna have to try things on and you're gonna be walking around, you're gonna be there for a while or thrifting for a while, so you want to dress comfortable. So tip 3 has to be one of the tips I may need to apply to myself when I go thrifting, is because I'm just looking for gems, but I'm always looking for gems and I end up overbuying things and buying a lot of things. So yeah, so my tip 3 would be to have an idea of what you're looking for. Keep in mind some of the things you may be looking for. This recent trip, when I went thrifting, I was looking for like coats and things like that, pea coats, and fall and winter pieces, white button downs and things like that. But you also still have to keep an open mind. Like, I still keep an open mind and look for whatever I find, but I want to have a plan of kind of like what I want to buy, so I don't go too overboard, because more than likely I'm going to go overboard. So kind of have a plan, or keep in mind what you're looking for. That way you kind of know which areas to hit. If you're looking for blazers, you can go to the blazer section. If you're looking for coats, you can go to the coat section. Dresses, in the dresses section. I still end up looking through everything except for the jeans, because I don't have time to deal. There's so much jeans that, and it's hard to find your size, and I don't ever feel like going through all of those. So I don't look through the jeans, but I end up looking through everything anyways, even though I have things in mind. But I save more money, or don't spend as much money, because I'm like, do I really need that? Is it, something that's on my list of must-haves? So yeah, that's tip number 3. My tip number 4 is to take your time. When you're going through the racks, you want to take your time and look through each piece, because you don't want to just scan. You want to actually take your time and actually go through each piece, move each hanger one by one. Well, at least that's what I do, and that's how I end up finding things. And a lot of people always look over things. They're like, oh, I just looked there and I didn't see that, because you have to take your time literally and go through each item in that row or in that section to make sure that you don't overlook a gem, because the gems are always hiding. So you want to take your time and not actually visually glance and look, but actually physically move the things and look, because that's the only way you're gonna find some very really nice piece. So tip number 5 is to examine your items. I cannot stress this enough. You need to examine your items, look for holes, tears, rips. With shirts, you want to look for, like, especially shirts, you want to look for like armpit stains, because sometimes they do have them or whatever. So you want to take time to examine your piece, make sure there's no stains or it's not damaged or anything, because it's kind of like a waste of time if something is ripped or it's missing however many buttons and you know really you're not going to replace them to even buy it. So take your time and look and examine your items that you find and inspect and make sure that they're worth purchasing, because it's the thrift store and it's not like Macy's or wherever where you can just go and return your things. There's a no return policy. So you want to make sure what you're getting you're going to be able to wear. So tip number 6 is to try on your finds. Try your items, because like I said, you cannot return them. You want to make sure they fit well. You want to see maybe if you do you like the item enough to want to get it altered, that it's something that can be altered. Even though me, I've gotten things that have been maybe 3 times my size altered. But you want to try on your pieces. You don't want to end up, and this is what I used to do a while back when I thrift. If I like the item, I purchased it and say, oh, I would just get it altered, and 9 times out of 10 I really ever got it altered, so I ended up giving it away or whatever and never using it. So now I try on my items and I try and go for more things that fit me than more things that I have to get altered, because it's kind of like defeats the purpose of thrifting when you have to continuously to get a whole bunch of items just to get them all altered. So definitely try on your items. Tip number 7, which I'm sure everyone should know if you thrift or you're interested in thrifting or whatever, is to take your items home and of course wash them or dry clean them. Whatever it is, whatever the care instructions are on the tag, you want to wash your clothes or dry clean them or whatever before you wear them. Yeah, because you're not sure if the person who brought them there or donated them or how long those clothes have been there. So yeah, you definitely want to take them home, wash them, or get them dry cleaned or whatever before you wear them. So that concludes my 7 tips on how to thrift shop or how to find vintage items or thrift with a purpose, I guess, at a thrift store. Yeah, so obviously my next video is going to be a thrift haul, because I found some great items during my last couple thrift trips. Thrift trips. So I found a few items and I will be sharing them with you guys. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, of course, in the comments below, let me know some of your favorite thrift stores. Where do you guys like to go thrifting? Have you ever thrifted before? And until next time, bye.